By Khadijah Ali, called Take a Bow. You guys ready?
Yes.
Take a bow, you deserve it. For all the times that you had to take a walk, when you had to walk to a segregated school, if you were lucky, someone you could only walk to a window and watch others off to school. Some of you could only walk to the window. Hold on. Okay. Then you could walk back to the kitchen and cook and wash and iron. But you made it to a place where only the knowledge of God could have taken you. When you had to leave your children at home to walk to work to someone else's home, to tend to their children just to make a few pennies to take care of your children. You and your children survived that time. Because you knew that walking and praying was wisdom in motion. Take a bow. Take a bow, you deserve it. For all the times that you had to take a stand. When you stood for justice, when the Little Rock Nine, as they broke barriers to get an equal education. You might not have been there in person, but you were there in spirit, standing in agreement with covering prayers. You stood in the gap and prayed for our young men when they were shipped off to Vietnam. When you stood and marched to our nation's capital to demand equal rights. Because of your standing, we have been overcoming. Because you knew and standing and praying was a wisdom applied, take a bow. Take a bow, you deserve it. For all the times that you had to take a seat. When you took a seat at the bus stop just to get on the bus to sit in the back. Some of you had to give up your seat until Rosa Parks stayed seated. You railed behind her and stood riding the buses. You sat on the counters, sat in the jail, some sat in the hospitals. When you sat in the court with family members praying for mercy. You sat in the hospital awaiting the arrival of your first grandchild. You have taken a seat when you have wanted to take stand, but you knew that it wasn't time. So you sat and were still and knew that God was in control. Because you knew that sitting and praying was the strength of wisdom. Take a bow. You deserve the applause for your strength and endurance. You deserve a standing ovation, your dignity and honor. You deserve an award for humility and wisdom. You deserve it all, so take a bow. Written by Khadijah Ali.